Hello, hello, hello. How are you all? Oh my goodness, it was trying to make me update and I went in to update it and then it wouldn't let me get out. But I'm here now and who is the first one in the house? Hey, Marta. Hello, hello. Marta, could you please email me? I can't find your email and it was a while back, but I want to communicate with you. Could you please email me at gloriouslifeonwheels at gmail after the live is over? Um, it'll take forever for me to go back and find your email when you emailed me a while back. Oh my goodness, this is a glare. I think I'm gonna take this off of here and just put them up when I need to see. Hey Sheila, hello, hello, hello. Uh, do you have a regular address so I can send something your way? Um, who else is here? Stella Wonders and Wanders. Hello, hello. Caroline Hannah is in the house saying hello, Caroline Globies. Happy Saturday to you too. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Uh who else is it? Miss Nat, one of my fabulous moderators, along with Martina, is here. And who else is in the house? Nora Keg, another fabulous moderator with Vaughn on a roll also. Oh my goodness. Eating my spicy jack chicken quesadilla. Ooh, I'll be in here in 3 minutes. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds delicious. You know what I had? Because I gave up red meat and I gave up beef and pork and lamb for Lent. I always give up something, and so I've been on chicken and fish, and are no meat at all. And I had at Wendy's, they have this honey chicken biscuit, and I had one of those because on Saturdays me and Jessica go out for breakfast and somewhere usually we go somewhere cheap where we have a coupon or we have buy one get one free, but I decided to splurge and spend $4 on a sandwich at Wendy's, and it was really quite tasty. Add a little hot sauce on it. So yeah, so you're enjoying spicy jack chicken quesadilla. Oh my goodness, that sounds good. Who else is here that I haven't? Hey, Iris over at Three Generations. Hello, hello. John's Deb is in the house. Hello to you. And who else is here? I wanted to ask you guys, did you see the oh hey Barry's here. Hello, hello. It says Globies, I'm ready. I did another tour. I did a tour years back of Barry's van, and it's just so beautiful, and he is selling it. Do you believe that? Go over and check it out if you haven't seen it. Oh my gosh, don't want to tell everything, but it has double decker um solar panels that slide out. Do you believe that? Maybe I will see if I can't add, because on the original video that I did, I think I actually showed that. So maybe I'll post that in the comments so that on the video later after I get off this live so that you can see them sliding in and out. It is so cool, so very cool. But yeah, Barry decided to hang up his spurs as far as that van. He still has a minivan, but Barry, you can tell more about it in the comments here. But so he is selling it, but go over and look at it. Just even if you're not looking at to buying a van, just look at to get ideas and see what he did and all the features he did. Custom made chests of drawers and cabinets. Just you got to go see it. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Uh Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Patty, oh, I missed Patty. Where's Patty? Hi, Patty. How are you? Um, um, yeah, it's hey Graham, hello, hello. I think I have had kicked you out, Graham. I don't know. I was trying to kick out one of your comments I didn't like, but I was trying to kick the comment out, and I think I kicked you out, but I went over and I was trying to fix it. So apparently I fixed it, so you're back in the house. Good day from Will. Let's see. Let me put my glasses to see this. From Will Barraback. Will Barraback. Okay, all right. Hey, Jacqueline, a member. Hey, hello. I rarely post, so just saying hello. Well, you got to post more often, Jacqueline. We want to see everyone in here, especially those that are members coming by. I was going to go to, um, I was going to go to Quartzsite actually this weekend. I'm trying to catch up with Robert. I cannot. Robert, if you're listening to this live, I can't find your number. I wanted to catch up with you because he wants to. Robert, who has the semi truck sleeper, I can't find his phone number. I want to catch up with him because he wants to do a YouTube channel, and I promised I would help him, give him some pointers and tips, and I can't find his number. So I was going to go to Quartzsite this weekend, and this thing came up on the dashboard of my van. It says VSC something. I don't remember, but then it has check engine light. But that when that comes on, oh, track off, something track off, stability track or something off. So I looked it up, and it says there's a couple of things, and one of the things, now get a load of this, is to check your gas cap. And I remember when I got gas last time, I was in such a hurry. I was doing it, and I don't know if it got on. I just closed it and got in and drove off because I had to be somewhere. Well, and I thought, well, I'll go back and check it later, and I didn't. But one of the things that it says is that if your gas cap isn't on properly, that thing can come on. I don't know whether you get air in your tank or I don't know what, but it came on. So I thought, well, let me go check this gas cap. So I went and checked the gas cap, and sure enough, it was sideways and it wasn't on. And so I tightened it in, but it didn't come out. So I'm going to have to go to the mechanic, have him. I think he probably has to push some buttons to undo that note. But have any of you ever experienced that? But yeah, apparently on certain models like the Sienna, if your gas cap isn't screwed in, something happens. I don't know what happens, but something happens and that light comes on. But yeah, so crazy, crazy. But anyhow, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna not go to Quartzsite. I don't want to take a chance. I just want to make sure before I get on the road. So I don't know, because this is I was looking at the weather, and the reason I was going to go this weekend is because it's going to be in the 70s this weekend, but next weekend it's going to supposedly be in the 90s. Oh, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, be anxious for nothing. Hello from Maine. Oh my goodness. I've been wanting to go to Maine. There's these cabins up there called Cabot something, and I have been wanting so much to go up and see them, but haven't made it yet. Yay, I've got my glasses. I do have my glasses, but if you look, the reflection is so, yeah, that I'm not going to keep them on. I'll just I will put them on when I really need them. Who else is here? Vaughn says, Carol, are you getting the Santa Ana winds down there? It's been wild here. You know what? I was in a parking lot earlier this morning, and all of a sudden I got a big, huge gust, and I was like, I was like, what the heck? But that was the only thing I felt, but I'm in the house, so I don't know right now what's happening. But yeah, I did feel that earlier, a huge, huge gust of wind, Vaughn. Um, Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Uh, yes, Graham is back in the house. Graham is saying, Nana. um, hey, 92 tulips. Oh, I love tulips. Those are one of my favorite flowers. So 92 tulips says, just wanted to say hello to everyone. Been a minute since I've seen a live. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here because I wanted to ask a kind of little bit provocative question today and see what you guys have to say about it. Uh, hey, from Australia. Hey, Karen T from Australia. Our Karen 1702 from Australia. Hello, hello. Welcome to the house. I'm actually Carol, but half the people call me Gloria because they think, I don't know, the glorious, they think whatever. But welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Everyone's saying hello. It is, Patty, it is amazing, isn't it? And I have some more van tours coming up, but I wanted to keep that up for a few days before I put another one up so people can see that, because it is just, and he built that himself. Is that just unbelievable? He built it himself. The cabinets, he built the cabinets. He yeah, he built everything in there, and it's just amazing. I had never seen a glass, a solid glass um uh shower door in a van, in a cargo van. I've seen what looks like some kind of glass or plastic in big gigantic RVs, but this is a thick, beautiful glass shower door in there. I mean, there's just so much stuff in there that you just it's beautiful. Um thanks, Nora. Thanks. Hey, Deander. Hello, hello. Let me Deander, yes. Uh hope you're feeling okay. I am. I am. I have been kind of tired. I really have, but I'm gearing up and resting because I'm going to pick up the puppy. I'm going to pick up Mowgli actually Wednesday to go bring him down for his first shots. And then I'm going to bring him back because she's going to pad train him and everything. And I'm going to hopefully she'll keep until the end of the month for me. And then I've got to go pick him up the end of the month. And then 3 weeks from his first, he's going to get his first shots on Wednesday. Then 3 weeks from that, he needs to get another set of shots. He needs to get, I think, two more or three more, 3 weeks apart. And then he'll be eligible to get, at 4 months, he can get his rabies shot. And then once he has all of his shots, then I'll bring him out around other dogs. But they say it's best not to. So I'm just being very careful. He can be around Cuddles because Cuddles has all of his shots. And I'm actually going to go have Cuddles get a Bordetella shot on Tuesday. So yeah, I'm going to bring them at different times to get their shots. So yeah, so lots going on here. Hey, CW Style, hello, hello. Stella Wonders and Wanders says, just been looking at Tiny Tranquility. Oh, I love that. Oh, I absolutely love Tiny Tranquility. They have one in Walport, Oregon. I think it's Walport. Then they have another one that they opened up a second one. Yeah, that's in Crescent, inland from Crescent City. They have two different ones. Now I don't know if the one is on Walport that's on the coast, and then they opened a second one, but they're both I like the coast one. It's amazing. It's just, it used to be an old, I think, garden center or something, but he bought the land, and it's right over the coast. So it's absolutely stunning. Yeah, so I've seen both of them, Stella. I have. Yeah, $7.75 is not cheap, but I'm telling you, it's cheap compared to here, because even to park a mobile home, or even down near the beach here, this has been a few years back. There were two girls I met. They were at a park and we were talking. I was doing something with Jess, and they were telling me they were parked in a van at one of the parks down near the beach, and they were paying a couple thousand a month. And that was a couple of years ago. So I shudder to think what it is now. I don't know anywhere here that you can park anything, a van, mobile, anything for under $1,000 a month. And that's not at the beach, that's inland. So if you're at the beach, so $7.75 may sound steep, but actually compared to what the prices are around here, it's not. Now if you go into Texas, North Carolina, and some of those states, yeah, you can find places for $400 to $500 a month, maybe even less. I don't know. CW Style is saying hello, hello. Everyone's saying hello. Yeah, Stella, that's $7.75 a month. Graham says, I can't believe that I would have said anything worth kicking me off for. No. Well, you said something that kicked off your comment, but I didn't try and kick you off, but I thought when I didn't see you, I said, "Oh, I think I kicked him off." But I wasn't trying to, but that happened to someone else before. I was trying to do something else, and so you guys know when I mess with stuff on here, I end up doing all kinds of things. But I said, I hope I haven't kicked him off. So I went back in to try and fix it. So maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. But you're here, so it's worked. But yeah, there was a comment. I was like, man, that wasn't. I know the bride wasn't there, or she would have smacked your hand with a ruler if she had been there. But so I know your bride wasn't there when you did that comment. Oh, hold on, my nose. My nose is always running, starts running, and we've talked about this before whenever I do a live. Someone said something about your vocal cords, and I don't know. But anyhow, Nora says, I'm really sure to turn the gas cap till it clicks a few times. Yes, that's what they said. If it wasn't, and it was not even in, it wasn't hanging down, but it was loose. So it wasn't even fully in. So apparently that does something that triggers that light when the gas cap, I don't know whether air gets in. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to have to go get it checked out. Sheila says, I'm in Dayland, Florida at Lulu's meetup. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me know. Text me and let me know if you're going to be somewhere that you're going to be at an address for a couple of weeks because I'll send something your way. So just let me know. CW Styles says, I really enjoyed Carol's video and tour of, yes, Barry's. Best wishes to Barry. Barry is such a cool fella for sure, and so skilled. In fact, I bought one of Barry's minivans. I still haven't done a tour. Well, I did a tour that he did of it, but I've done some changes in it. So I really need to do another tour, and I'll get around to that one day. I have so many other tours I'm doing, but I will get around to that. And I have a 90-some-year-old lady that I want to interview, and just and then a friend who I'm going to interview about something. So lots going on. So I'll get around to doing my own tour one of these days. Yeah, it was, Jacqueline, wasn't it? It really was. And I have a tour of a van, and Barry saw this van, and I think he said he thought it was one of the most beautiful ones he's ever seen. And I have to tell you, the van that I will show you um, was done by an artist, and she built it all out herself, except for the electrical. Her husband did the electrical for her, but the actual build she did, and you're not going to believe. You're just not going to believe it. When I get ready to post it, I'll let you know. I'll send out an announcement, and it's just absolutely stunning. The one that I did before Barry, the one that Charlotte built or had built out, and she did a lot of the work in it, looked like a luxury hotel inside. I mean, some of these builds that people are doing, a lot of the work themselves or all of the work themselves, are stunning. I love these DIY builds because people add stuff that's for their own personal use, but I always get loads and loads and loads of ideas from these DIY builds. They're not the run of the mill, They're really unique because it's not a builder who's just churning out the same thing over and over and over and looks like just an industrial build. It's something really special and unique to that person, like Barry's, like Charlotte's, like the ones that I have coming up. But you'll see the ones coming up. Ma Garden Oasis says, hello, Globies. It's low 70s in the Bay Area. Very nice. Oh, yes. In fact, I'm going to be in the Bay Area hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. There's a tiny house builder up there I want to visit. It's called Pacifica Tiny Homes. And let me tell you guys, remember that container home that I was going to go look at? Well, he's asking $16,900 for it. And it's not fully built out. he had put the walls in, he'd insulated it, put the walls in, electrics in, and bathrooms in, but then you have to add your cabinets and everything else. When I started pricing it out, because it's not on a trailer, so I'd have to buy a trailer, which is a few $1,000s, or then I'd have to have it hoisted onto the trailer, which is going to be another few thousand. Then I'd have to have it bolted into the trailer. So by the time I do all of that extra work, plus then I spoke with him yesterday because I was going to go look at it, and I want to record it. I wanted to record it and show you all, because no, I don't really want it recorded and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I was already starting to think, no, we're just going to build one from scratch. And then when he said he didn't want it recorded, I decided, you know what, that's it. So the container home that was partially built is out. So back to the drawing board. So I want to go up to talk to Kevin at Pacifica Homes, because we've been talking to each other for 2 or 3 years. Every time they have a show, I go to it, or there's a show with Tiny Homes, his company's there. But I want to find out what trailers they use and where they get their trailers from, because it looks like we're going to be building this puppy from scratch on a trailer. So again, I'll keep you guys posted. But you're so welcome. You're so welcome, CW Style. Barry, it's so easy and fun to do interviews, but especially with people who are friends like Barry. So that was just a pleasure doing that interview with Barry, because we know each other, we're comfortable talking to each other, and it's just, but almost everyone I do an interview with, it's fun. Now there have been a few that have not been so fun, but that's very rare. Very rare. Most of them are a lot of fun. Yeah, I know, Miss Net. It was very unique. We didn't lift the bed up, but the bed rises up, and that whole area underneath is all storage. I mean, it's unbelievable how much storage he has in there. And the things he did, like that piping, I've never seen someone do a piping going from the floor mat at Cruise and Comfort, and he had that fabricated where it's piped the air up and in the back and over, so it goes over, so at night he's comfortable. I mean, just so many really unique things on that build, you know. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Everyone's saying hello. Hi, Cynthia. Hello. Haven't been on for a while. Have you changed your idea about moving to Panama? I saw a post about a site that was women only, stateside somewhere. I I wasn't ever going to move to Panama full time. I was just going to get a permanent visa that would let me go and come as I please. Otherwise, the visas, I think there are maybe 6 months or so, and then people do what are called border runs, where they cross the border and then come back. I don't want to do all that kind of stuff, because they're really tightening down, and those things, they're really looking at that. And then I saw someone got a $1,000 fine for doing that. So I wanted to get a permanent visa so that I could have a place there and go and stay there part of the year and be here part of the year and go back and forth, kind of like people who are snowbirds. They have a place in Florida, then they have a place somewhere else, and I was going to do that in Panama. And the reason I chose Panama was because Panama uses the American dollar as their means of exchange. They also have a Johns Hopkins affiliated hospital. Their cost of living is low. There's a huge American expat population there. And there are just a lot of things that, I thought would be fun. And I want to learn Spanish. So it was something I thought, and then depending on if something ever happened here and I needed to be somewhere else, but I was never going to go there full time, just part of the year. But with what was happening in Venezuela, I decided, because Venezuela is next to Colombia, and Colombia is next to Panama, and people go back and forth between Colombia all the time, and also between Colombia and Venezuela. So that was very close to a lot of what was going on with those military strikes that we had. And I wanted to see if it settled down there and what was going on there before deciding that that would be. Actually, I was going to choose. I had looked really, even though I'd pretty much decided Panama, I was also still going to look at Puerto Vallarta because we vacationed there every year for a long time. And I love, love, love that area, especially a little bit beyond there. There's a Bucieres, and it just beautiful. But with what was going on with recently with the cartels there and everything, I was like, no. I decided, you know what? That showed me that at the flip of a switch, something could happen in Mexico and all of a sudden you're not safe. And I decided that even though many, many people have places down, I know people who have trailers down in mobile home parks down in Mexico for a little and nothing. But I don't want to be somewhere that I'm going to have to shelter in place anytime there's a crackdown or anytime, so that was out. But yeah, to answer your question, Cynthia, I put that on hold for right now based on what was happening in Venezuela. And I'm just going to focus for right now on um, building my tiny house, my first one, and getting the tiny house communities, the affordable tiny house community started. I don't want to charge $775 for lots. I don't want to charge, ideally, I don't want to charge more than $400 a month, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll tell you guys this. This is a secret that I've been kind of holding to my chest because it's too crazy to really share. But I'm going to share it with you guys. So just keep it under your hats. Don't tell anyone else. But I've been looking for lots for a long time for a tiny house community. And I don't know, I don't know for those of you who are believers, and believe in the Holy Spirit and that that you communicate through the Holy Spirit with God. I truly believe that there's a lot that God is telling me this is your lot. Now, I know. Now, when I tell you the price, you're going to tell me this is crazy because I'm thinking it's crazy myself. And I'm thinking, well, it can't be me thinking this because I know that this is so far out of my range. I mean, it's like it might as well be $1 billion. But this lot, it is in a mixed use area. It's next to a tire shop on one side, and on the other side is a mobile home park. So it's in a mixed use area. I checked the zoning. It's mixed use for both residential and commercial. So it'd be perfect for a tiny house. It's not a real giant lot, but 10 tiny houses could easily fit there, plus a wash house, which I want to have maybe washer and dryer and maybe a shower and a little maybe community room. But it's big enough for that. But hold on to your hat when I tell you what the price of this lot is. $1.5 million. Yeah. It's not even an acre. I don't think it's a half. It's maybe, I don't know, but $1.5 million. So I'm like, God, so I'm thinking, is this really God talking? Maybe this is the devil talking to me. But I'm like, is this, but I know it's probably not. I mean, do you ever think that, God's telling you to do something and you wonder, is it really him or is it just me? But I'm thinking it can't be me because I wouldn't be even looking at a lot. When I called to find out the price of it, I was like, well, I know it's not me because I wouldn't be looking at anything that pricely. But I'm thinking, well, if God is calling me and saying this is my lot, then he's going to make a way for me to get it. So I don't know. I don't know. I know I'm sounding delusional here, so I'm going to just stop. But the only other thing is I'm like, if this is my lot and I'm still looking for other lots and I buy another lot, it's not going to be a success because that's not the lot God says he has for me. So I don't know. It's kind of, remember when Abraham in the Bible, when God told him and Sarah, I am going to bless you with a child. And they're like, yeah, right. Abraham's like, well, how long are we going to wait? And he's waiting and waiting. He goes, listen, she's already old. I'm old. This is not going to happen. And then he brings in, the handmaiden or whatever. And look what happened. That just caused a whole nightmare. So I don't want to go against God's will, but I'm not sure if it is his will. So I don't know. So I'm in a dilemma right now, and I probably shouldn't have even brought this up because it sounds so Looney Tunes. But anyhow, that's where I'm standing on the lot right now, and I'll let you know what happens. In fact, maybe I'll even do a live from the lot and show it to you. Maybe I'll do that one of these days. We'll see. We'll see, and you guys can pray about it and let me know. Hey, Judy. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, another one of my moderators. Actually, my very, very, very first moderator was Judy. She came every single week for a long, long time when I very first started having my lives. Oh my goodness. Hello, Judy. How are you doing? We haven't talked in so long. We really do need to talk. Judy, we've shared this before on this. Judy was one of the people in the Pacific Palisades, and in that Pasadena rather fire, her house burned down. So she's been dealing with that, and so just keep Judy and her family in your prayers. But she was able to buy. She had a Airstream, and she bought a different one that's like a 2-bedroom, so her grandson can travel with her because he's a traveling kid. He wants to be. He's a camper. He's a little thing, but he really wants to camp with his nana. So yes, we'll have to talk, Judy. Hey, Carol Rivers, one of my members. Hello, hello. How are you? Good to see you in the house. Uh, Everyone is joining, but my topic, I wanted to ask you guys a question. Marta says, Graham, my gas jumped from 2.49. What? Last Tuesday to 3.49 a gallon. $1. Wow. Well, ours is right down the street from me, right literally a mile from me, the closest gas station to me is 509. 509. Yes. Yes. And I think Costco is 459, 469. Yeah, so as high as that is, Marta, but I know it must have been really a shock to have it go up $1. Wow, wow. Hey, Muskegee Land, hello. You caught the show. You did. I'm glad you're here. Uh, but Marta, wow, that is $1. Yeah, that would limit your moving around, wouldn't it? Hey, feminine poet, hello. For your information, at the foot of Shasta Mountain is an RV park called Friendly RV Park. Rent is $625. The RV has to be in excellent condition, fantastic managers. Well, that's good to know. Thank you. So at the foot of Shasta Mountain, so the RV has to be in excellent condition. Okay. So do they have a 10-year age limit or just has to look good? Let me know. Let us know that. Carol Rivers says gas on Central Coast is close to an over $5. Yeah, yeah. Here too. Here too, Carol. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Muskegee Land says, I'm beyond lucky to have this new ultra low income apartment in Santa Fe. Very thankful. In Santa Fe? Wow, that is so cool. Can you share a little bit with how you got it, what the process was, and who you went through? Did you go through social services? Did you go through HUD? How did you get that for people who are looking and trying to get low income apartments? But Santa Fe, I love Santa Fe. That's one of my favorite, actually probably my very favorite city in other than Sedona. That's my favorite city in New Mexico. Jackie says, "Are Sedona is in Arizona. Sedona is in Arizona. Okay, yeah, Sedona's. Sorry, never mind. Never mind, folks. Never mind. Oh gosh. But in that general vicinity, okay, going in that direction. Bonds on a Roll said there's a mobile home park in Huntington Beach, and the space rent is, wow, 2,700 plus purchase price of a mobile home. 2,700. Well, Huntington Beach is kind of high rent area. It is a high rent area, but 2,700. Wow. You might as well buy a condo for that. Why would you pay $2,700 a month for something that you're not going to own the land? That's over $32,000 a year. In 10 years, that's 320,000. No, I can't see doing that. I really can't, you know. But yeah, but no, my tiny house community is not going to, nowhere like that. It's going to be affordable. And I mean really affordable. Thank you, Marta. Thank you for reminding me. I always forget. Hit that like button, folks. Hit that like. Oh, sorry, I'm shaking this. So it helps the algorithm. I don't understand, but it does. But I'd like to know. Cynthia says, my space outside of Houston is 700 plus $50 for a shed. I also have a gazebo. Nice place with trees, swimming pool, community room. Now that's really nice for $700. A swimming pool and a community room. Wow. Now, does that include garbage, or does it include trash, water, or anything, or is that just your space rent, Cynthia? Um uh Oh, CW Style saying hi to Barry. Love your travel RV. Did awesome, Phil. He did. Patty says husband had shoulder surgery. Doing well, not grumpy, but sure takes a long time to heal. I have weak legs and he can only use one arm. We are a pair. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll think good thoughts for your husband, Patty. That I tell you, when we get old, some of our parts start not working so well. But at least there's two of you, so you can use part of one and part of the other. Oh my goodness. Uh okay, thank you, Sheila. Graham says, smack me on the hand with a ruler. Try an uppercut and a big cross or punch in the throat is more her style. Ooh, she sounds like a woman after my own heart. I knew I liked the bride. I really do like that bride. Barry says, okay, people, the gas cap has to be put on till you hear the first click. It is a clutch mechanism of some sort. It does not wind up and get tighter when you hear the first click. When you hear the first click, you're done. Oh, a clutch mechanism. Okay. Thanks, Barry. But I didn't know that it could affect, and send a light and affect the stability and all this stuff. Lights come on if you don't have it done right. I didn't realize that, but it can. Oh, Sheila says it's 85 today in DeLand, Florida. Well, that doesn't sound bad. That's especially if you're near the water, you can pop into the water there. Feminine says, "Oh, Pacifica is beautiful. I was born there, right on the ocean. Oh, yeah. Isn't there a college there? I think there's a college there that a highly regarded college, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is beautiful there. It is. Hey, Donald, my brother's in the house. Hello, hello. Saying hello to everyone. Good to see you all. Well, the group is here. Where is Randy? We just need Randy here now. Randy and Liddell. Uh, Everyone's saying hello. Graham says, dry as a trip here at the moment. We could really use some rain. The crows are flying backwards to keep the dust out of their eyes. Oh my goodness. Don says, I don't see you, Miss Net. Always a pleasure. I didn't see you, Miss Net. Always a pleasure to see you. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's funny about the crows. Well, I'm gonna go back to the comments, but I wanted to ask you guys, if you were on the verge or couldn't afford, let's say you're in an apartment and the rent just kept going up and up and up, and you were at a point when you realized that sooner than later, rather, you are not going to be able to afford it. Would you rather get a roommate or move into an RV or a camper van and travel around or try and find somewhere to park it? Which would you rather, stay in your apartment with a roommate, or because a lot of people are in this situation, and I'm seeing more and more who are opting to go into vehicles, which I'm finding kind of surprising actually, rather than get a roommate. I mean, is it that is it that horrible to have a room? I've had roommates before. I mean, some were good and some were terrible. So I've had both. But I'm just wondering which you all would choose. Would you choose the roommate, or would you choose to live in a vehicle? Some people even said they'd go in their car before they got a roommate. I mean, that's pretty drastic. So I'm just curious to see. Everyone's saying hello. Donald is saying hello to everyone. Muskegee Land says, for me, I wouldn't leave the United States, too dangerous with everything going on. Yeah, there is a lot going on, and I have had to reconsider. I mean, I had done all my research. I was ready to pull the switch, and and get at least having a stable where I can go back and forth between the two. I would never give it my home here because I have a special needs daughter who needs to have a stable place. So that's not an option. She already said she's not going anywhere. She's not leaving here. So I don't have that choice. But yeah, Stella says, I saw a recent video that Ray, let me put my glasses on here, that Ray Adventure Freakness did, and he is now not recommending Colombia for an expat country as well as Mexico. Yeah, and Colombia is right next to Panama. So if you're not recommending Colombia, people go across the border back and forth between Colombia and Panama all the time. So I'm wondering if something's going to come down and all. I mean, there are many, 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 many more expats in Panama than Colombia. It is like, you remember how popular Costa Rica was a few years back? Well, Panama became the new Costa Rica. So, yeah, so I'm wondering if what's going to happen, because I mean, there are literally thousands of Americans in Panama. And that's one of the reasons I was looking there, because there's such a strong community there, and but yeah, I don't think I ever would have picked Colombia, you know, but definitely not Venezuela. And I don't think I would have picked Colombia. And I really don't. And one of the other things I was looking at Panama, because it was so easy. It had such a low entry bar to meet, but anyhow, Don says, we are both fine over this way. Hope that all is well over your way as well, Miss Net. Yeah, two North Carolinians talking there. Vaughn says, I pick a van over a room for rent always because I can drive my van to a job, but I can't drive room though. Well, that's true, but uh but you would, if you have a room, you would still have a vehicle usually, because people who have apartments or houses usually still have a vehicle. So you could always still drive your car to a job. But okay. Muskie Land says affordable housing. Yes. Yeah. Let us know what happened, how that came about. Carol Rivers says, I'm with you, Carol. Yeah, yeah, right now it's a little bit, yeah. Don says, 3 generations, missed chatting with you all last week. Yes, Donald was not here last week. He was snoozing. Learn Spanish for free. Let me write that down. Hold on, or okay. 1, 2, 3. What is it? 123 teachme.com. Okay. 123 teach me. Hold on. Let me see if I can't get hold on just a second. Sorry. I'm trying to get this pin here. Okay. All right, got it. I'm going to write this down. Now I got to get a piece of paper. Okay, 123 teachme.com. I was looking at a tutor, but teachme.com. Okay. Thank you, Martha. Yeah, I do. That's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time is learn Spanish. Muskegee Land says 1 million. Oh my God, I want the land at Lake Eufua for 75 grand. Yeah, it's not 1 million, it's 1.5, so it's 1.5 million. Yeah, so yeah, that's not even in it's not even worth me thinking about as far as me getting it. But I mean, if that's God's plan for me, then he'll provide. What do they say? If God provides, if he decides, he provides. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm just delusional because I saw it and it got planted in my brain, and that I don't know. I don't know. I'm just telling you guys what I think, but I could be. I know. Yes, Donald, just for the lot. When you come out here, I will show it to you because it's been for sale for a while now. No, I'm sure for 1.5 million. It's not really big enough to put a huge RV park in there. I guess it's big enough to put a business, but you'd have to be making some pretty good money in the business to justify paying that, and then the tax, and. I wonder if does anyone know in here if you have a what do you call it? I can't think of the word. You know what? I'm just getting too old. Nonprofit, that's it. If you have a nonprofit, do you have to pay taxes if land is in a nonprofit? Like, do churches pay taxes on their land because they have an exemption? But would a nonprofit get an exemption to paying taxes on the land? I'm wondering, does anyone know the answer to that? Because I wouldn't even be able to afford the taxes on that, much less buying it. So Miss Net said, if God gave you the vision, he will give you the funding. That's what I'm thinking. And I'll find out if it's his vision, he'll provide. If it's not, so I don't know whether to keep looking for other places or whether to sit back and wait and trust on him. I don't know what to do because I'm not sure. But you're right, Miss Net. If he did, he will absolutely. Carol says, I follow the God guidance conversations. Ask for confirmation. That's a good thing. I'm going to ask for a confirmation, Carol. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I should have been thinking of that. I'm so glad I came on here and I'm so glad I shared this with you all. Yes, I need to ask for a confirmation. Okay, I will see. I will ask for a confirmation. In fact, I'm going to ask right now, God, can you give me a confirmation one way or the other? Is that land for me or is it not for me? Let me know. And if it's not for me, bring something else and let it be. I don't know. I'm not going to tell him how to do the confirmation. I'm just going to say, God, could you just confirm it one way or the other? you know, you know how we try to tell God how to do things? Are you guys guilty of that sometimes? Oh my God. Graham says, sorry, Carol, 1.5 million. Best off to just keep looking. Well, I'm going to ask for the confirmation. I think, Carol Rivers, that was a brilliant, yes, that was a brilliant thing. Thank you for that suggestion. Hey, Bust a Move, how are you? Good to see you in the house. Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully bust a move on this land one way or another. Vaughn says, yep, I saw 520, 545 a gallon today. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I wonder what it's like in Arizona right now. Does anyone know what gas is in Arizona right now? Usually it's about $1 less. So I'm guessing it would be maybe $4 a gallon now in Arizona, maybe. I don't know. Nora says, Donald, you're asking for trouble. Hey, who else is in the house here? Let's see. Hey, Rox. Hello, hello. Greetings from Victor Valley, where the winds are. That's what Vaughn was saying. That is windy, windy, windy. Oh, Victor Valley. Now, that's an area that I looked at too, but I want a really, really top-notch hospital near. And the land that I'm telling you that was 1.5 million, it's right down the street from all kinds of grocery shopping, a movie theater, grocery shopping, a hospital is within 15 minutes, two different hospitals within maybe 20 minutes, a shopping center. I mean, it's like maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes to the beach. I mean, it's just in a perfect, 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 perfect spot. Everything someone could need is within literally a short distance. I mean, it's, you know, but again, 1.5 million. So yeah. Uh Vaughn says, "Hi, Rocks. Yes, still crazy here in Pasadena." That's what I'm hearing. Thank you, Nora. Yeah, give me those thumbs up. How many people are in the house and how many thumbs up do I have? One of my moderators, can you let me know so we know how many people need to hit that thumbs up? Graham says, "Not allowed, Don. The bride is across the table and has a long reach." I love it. I love it when the bride is home. I love it when the bride is there. How is your son doing, by the way, Graham? How is he doing? Is he hanging in there? How is he doing? Um, Muskegee Land says Santa Fe Housing Trust. They are planning another one nearby. Santa Fe Housing Trust. Okay, anyone who's near that area. Now, how did you apply for it? You contacted Santa Fe Housing Trust and they is it based on, do they base it on your income and it's a proportion of like a third of your income or something like that, Muskegee Land? Okay, you guys, you hear it. Santa Fe Housing Trust. If you're in that area, he says they're getting ready to start another one. So if you can get on the list, because I know someone who got on a list for a new building that they were building, and then they were able to get in it because they got on it before it was even built. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. You know what happens when I start lives? I start, my nose starts running. Rock says it was 80 in Irvine yesterday, only in the 60s out here. Oh, it's only in the 60s, huh? Interesting. Um Vaughn said, Graham, she's got her eye on your throat. Oh my goodness. Martin, it says, I'm in Southwest Ohio. It's because of the war. Yeah, I think so too. And I think anticipation of not having oil. But let's face it, they use any excuse they can to jack up prices. That's just a fact. And now they have this excuse, and this is a great excuse for them to jack up the prices again. Muskegee Land says Solaris Station Apartments. It's in a nice area. Okay, guys, you hear this. Solaris Station Apartments in a very nice area. Well, thank you, Muskegee Land. Thank you for sharing that for anyone who needs that information, who's looking for something and they can be in that area. That's fabulous. Donald says, I understand, Graham. Mine has long arms too. Jacqueline says, right, and not own the land. Yeah. I would not pay outrageous prices for rent on land that I don't own. I just can't see doing that. Muskegee Land says walk to Walmart. Wow. Well, this one you can walk to Costco, which is not like Walmart, but it's a very, very short drive to Winco, and a short drive to Aldi's, so and the Dollar Tree. So there's. Hey, Billy Clover. Hello, hello. How are you? Vaughn says, plus you have to pay the property tax at a mobile home park too. Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to pay the property tax. I couldn't, but if I was a nonprofit, maybe that wouldn't be an issue. I don't really know. Um, Rock says, lots of land for sale out here, but I kind of hate it. Yeah, I looked up there. There was a lot of land for sale, but it's very hot and it's kind of away from good medical, and yeah, it's kind of in no yeah. And there was some land out there that was very reasonable, but what can I say? I have champagne taste and a beer pocketbook. But I want the people that are in my tiny house community. I want them to be near things that they can do and walk to, you know. And it's not too far from the senior citizen center either. It's a very short drive. So, you know, a lot of things that people could do. Um, and the movie theater has $6 movie nights on Tuesday, which is certainly better than the $18 that a lot of these theaters are charging now. Um, Vaughn says, Rocks, isn't the summer heat pretty brutal too? Yeah, yeah, I've been through there. It's on the way to Las Vegas, so it's getting pretty hot going that way. Cynthia says, God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Amen to that. And also all the hills, so his hands are not too short to provide. I want to be in a more rural area, not crazy about all the traffic. Yeah, I understand that. I did talk to someone who owns property in a rural area, and I'm going to go out and maybe look at his too, but from it's a little far from a hospital, and I really need it to be near so people can get to their doctors or medical care. So, Rox says, Vaughn, yeah, the wind and bugs are nuts. Oh boy, yeah, yeah. It's okay out here if you do outdoor stuff, but I'm an old woman. Yeah, I looked in that area and I just decided it was just a little too hot and it was just a little too much. Uh Ron said, Rocks, yeah, that's a pass for me. Yeah. Hey Maria, hello, hello, how are you? Rock says, I'm only here because it's cheap and my mom is 92, so I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Well, bless you for staying with your mom and looking after your mom. God will bless you for that, for honoring her. Billy says, I woke up to loud thunder with rain this morning. Wow. Oh my goodness. Carol Irvis says travel. Yeah, travel is a good thing. Rock says, I'm keeping my minivan because I always want my own space. I think that's an excellent idea, an excellent plan, an excellent backup plan, definitely. Mira says, hold on, let me see this. Mirror 4524. Hello, hello. Says, I'm in an Airbnb, can't afford rent, trying to keep my 2010 car and storage unit and cats. Well, you know, the Airbnb, it sounds like you were able to negotiate a. Now, are you in it long term or are you in it only for a short period, Mirror? Um, you know, I would be interested to know that. Carol says, love my Subaru. Oh, yeah, Subarus are reliable. Great, great. Billy says, no more roommates here. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Stella says, I would live in a vehicle. Okay, okay. Miss Ned says, I'm set in my ways and I would prefer not to have a roommate. I would travel. Okay, you and Carol both. Um, Rock says Americans aren't safe abroad right now. You know, that's what I'm concerned about too, Rocks, to be perfectly honest. And that's why I pulled back on pulling the plug on that. You know. Caroline says, I would rather get an RV and travel if I'm able to. It would really have to be a great roommate. Okay. Mira says having housemates at an Airbnb is hell. Having to consider roommates in my 60s, but really can't stand it. Okay. So far, Rock says I'm getting too old for roommates. Nora said I'd have to move in with my buddy in her house. Okay, so it's looking like people are saying they'd rather live in an RV or a van and travel than have a roommate. But I think it has to do with age too. I think as we get older, we really are not willing to put up with a lot of the foolishness that we are willing to put up with when we're younger. We're more resilient, we're more able to, you know, to duck and dodge the craziness. But as we get older, we're less able to handle craziness, you know? Joy B says, I'm living alone. I rent, which keeps going up. Absolutely. So I'm saving for a place of my own. I would rather travel in a can or RV than have a roommate. All right. Nora Nora says, "I've already given her warning." Okay. Well, at least she's ready. Aunt Pam Studio says, "I lived in Costa Rica for 20 years." So are you still in Costa Rica? And if not, what made you leave, Aunt Pam? Um, Joy says, "Van or RV before a roommate." Okay. Rock says, "Whether my when my mom passes, I'll probably rent from my nephew just to have a base, but I want to travel." That's a good uh compromise. I think that's a great, but the thing is to start planning now. If you see your rent is starting to go up, well, not starting, but going up, and you see that it's going to reach a level where it's not going to be sustainable, you really need to start planning now. Vaughn says, "I'd rather live in a shack than have a roommate." If it's bad with the roommate, you might be stuck with him for a while. The vehicle is definitely best option, in my opinion. Okay. Well, you and a lot of other people, that's what you're thinking. John's Deb says, "I'm set in my ways. I prefer to live alone. I wouldn't feel safe traveling these days." Okay, but well, that wasn't one of the options. It was having a roommate or being in a van. So you're still saying you live alone, but if that wasn't an option, what would you do, Deb? Would you have a roommate or would you be in a vehicle? A lot of people do the court site for 6 months, 7 months, and then go up somewhere else for several months. So that's what a lot of people do. I don't know how long that's going to be an option because you know how they keep talking about selling BLM land. I pray they don't. But Mira says you still generally need a permanent address in order to even have a driver's license, have state Medicaid, vote, etc. I don't know if you have to have it to have Medicaid because there are homeless people who have Medicaid. So I don't know if that's the case. Driver's license, that's a different story. And having insurance for your vehicle, yeah, there can be a lot of complications not having a permanent address. You're right, Mir, in that regard. Um, let's see who else here. Everyone's saying hi and Pam. Uh, Lilith Live says, "I've had way too many crazy roommates. I'd rather sleep in my car." Well, it looks like from this poll, this informal informal poll, it looks like overwhelmingly people would rather live in a vehicle than have a roommate. At least from this group here. Wow, I'm kind of surprised, I have to admit. Vaughn says MLR, most nomads use a mailbox service, not a post office box. Yeah, and some of those though have been shutting down. Have you noticed that some of those are shutting down and no longer offering service? I don't know what's happening on that. Rock says, "I bought my minivan intending to do the nomad thing, but life went in a different way. I've still got everything I need to get into camper mode." Well, that's a good thing. So if need be, you still have that option. Uh, Vaughn says, "Lilith, right." Graham says, "Down the 82-year-old that rents a house in Hervey Bay said she would never have a roommate move in with her. She said she's too set in her ways. I just thought it would be good." Okay, yeah. Um, I think age is a factor. I really think age is a factor. Do you guys think that age is an influence in not being willing to have a roommate and more willing to move into a vehicle? I think people over a certain age um would or I think that's the case. Mira says, "I've only seen one for business addresses, not residences," Vaughn. Okay. Marty says, "Don't forget to change clocks, spring forward." Is that tomorrow? Really? I didn't realize that. Oh my goodness. That means we're going to get an extra hour of sunlight. Oh my goodness. Yay. I hate it getting dark so early. I just hate it. So it happens tomorrow, Martin? I didn't know that. I thought it was not until April. Oh my goodness. Carol, what about an LLC for a property? Well, I would have that, but for business, but I think there'll be more advantages to having a nonprofit than if I got a grant or something, or there might be more grants available to nonprofits is what I'm thinking, Vaughn. I don't know. I really don't. Mize Mice Van, hello, hello. Says good evening from Missy Van in Indianapolis. Well, hello, Missy Van. Welcome, welcome into the house. I'm getting ready. Oh, it's 4:15. I gotta get ready to get out of here. Jess and her friend, I'll tell you guys, she's not watching, so I can tell you. They were going to the movies, right? So they want to take the bus by themselves. So I let her do it when she's with another person. So it's Saturday, right? It's a young man, he calls me to tell me, well, I made a mistake and the bus doesn't run. They went from one place to another place and they had to transfer bus to get to the movies, right? I told him, I said, why don't I just give you a ride? No, 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 no. We can do it. We can do it. We want to do it. And we want to do it ourselves. I said, okay, fine. Do it yourself. So he calls me to tell me, well, that bus doesn't run. I'm like, well, I'm getting ready to do, and I hear Jess in the background. She's going to do her live. Leave her alone. We got this. We can handle it. I said, so what are you going to do? We're going to walk. I said, well, how far is it? And they tell me where they are. And I'm thinking to myself, that's about maybe 3 to 4 miles. We got it. We can walk. And he's like, because I know why he called me. He called me because he wants me to say, oh, I'll come pick you guys up and give you a ride. And she's like, no, we're walking. We're walking. We don't need anything. Because she's really pushing to be independent. And he's like, oh, oh, okay. He's not a happy camper with her telling them they're going to walk 4 miles to get to the movie theater. I told him, call me if you need me to come pick you up. No, we don't need you. I hear her in the background. Hang the phone up. We got this. I'm like, okay, okay. So I gotta go. I gotta go over there and check this out. Check them. Looking 380, 360 rather. But they were footing it. So I figured they had about, when they called, they had about an hour before the movie started. So if they walk maybe 20 minutes a mile, 15 minutes a mile, they should make it, because the previews take about 15-20 minutes. So they should got in just about the end. Yeah, so I'll check and see. But yeah. Oh, I tell you, when they want to be independent, they're willing to do some um interesting things to prove it. But he wasn't so keen on being independent. He wanted to ride. Oh my goodness. But anyhow, so that's why I got to get out of here and go over and check on these folks. Hey, Bunny Smith, hello. Nonprofits do not pay income tax, but do pay. Okay, you say do not pay income tax, but do pay income tax. So do you mean they don't pay income tax, but do pay property tax? Or don't pay property tax, but do pay. Okay. So, oh, you mean property. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Okay. Well, I'll check and see. Yeah, because I couldn't afford the property tax on it. Three Generations says, thank you, Martina. Rock says, sometimes the the county services office will let you get mail there. Unhoused people need addresses too. Yeah, I checked one of those places and they would not, a place near here, because I was checking for someone I was helping. They would not let you get an address there without a physical address. So yeah, so some do, I guess, and some don't. Uh MLR, here's some info if you're in the US. Okay, well, thanks, Vaughn. Thank you for that. Arving, keep it rolling. Hello, hello. Hi, how are you today? We're getting ready to head on out. Mira says, I'm trying to think of what the equivalent of that would be in Massachusetts, Rocks, but glad to hear it. All right. All right. We're just handing a lot of information, good information out here today. I'm really happy about that. Jacqueline says, um, Jacqueline says, is federal. Hope you start one. Yeah, I helped a church with the path to being a Texas nonprofit. Their county wanted them to pay taxes. I guided them on the paperwork and they pay none. Yeah, my goddaughter's son, I'm sorry, my goddaughter's husband set up one for them for a thing that they're doing. So he said he'll help me set up mine. So so, hey, who is the? I'm gonna keep my glasses on for a little while. Hey, Marva, Custom Free. I'm from Dallas, Dallas. 3.59 per gallon, up about $1. Wow. You know what? I think they're just using this as an excuse to just profit. They're profiteering off of, oh, who may know what may happen. Oh, let's just a fly goes by. Oh, never know what's going to happen when that fly lands. Let's jack up prices. I mean, any excuse will do, and this is one that is palatable and people will probably accept. That's crazy. $1. You and Martin have both in Ohio and Texas up $1 a gallon. Wow. Rock says out here the good hospital is down the hill. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I may have to reconsider. Muskegee Land says, look at land near Santa Fe, New Mexico. Isn't land kind of expensive near Santa Fe, Muskegee? Um, South of the city, the commuter train to Albuquerque. I don't want an Albuquerque, I know that. But oh, okay, so yours is based on income. You have SSDI. Okay. All right. Well, congratulations. I am so happy that you got your place in Santa Fe. That is so cool. Mir says, Vaughn, UPS ones are for business use only. I checked locally. Massachusetts is very strict. Okay. Three Generations says, are you in California, Vaughn? Yeah, she is. Three Generations. Vaughn says, MLR, it's not that way in a lot of states. Okay. All right. Um, Rock says Strait of Hormuz is closed. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so yeah, I guess yeah. Then that means it may go up even more. Oh my goodness. 3D Generation says try Anytime Mall and or Postal One. Still need a residential address for driver's license and vehicle registration. Okay. Muskegee Land says my YouTube shows the apartment. Okay, I'll go over and check that out. Can someone drop the link for Muskegee Land's YouTube uh, um, channel so we can go over and check the apartment out, the um, low income apartment that he was able to get. Carol Crane says gas 366 a gallon here in Arizona. Okay, so still 366. So that's about $1 less than Costco here. Okay, so 366. I wonder if it would be less at Costco in Arizona. Are there Costco's in Arizona? I think there are. Interesting. Okay. All right. Three Generations says I love Northern California. Hope to get legal in the state. Yep. Uh, Mrs. Van says, fortunately, I'm a homeowner, but I watch the tax rate changes and homeowner premium insurance changes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Homeowner insurance has gone bat crazy. Absolutely. I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to say, but bat crazy. Now, I'm under Prop 13. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Because if I wouldn't, I'm not even going to tell you what my homeowner's insurance would be here. Uh, my homeowner's tax, yes. My insurance has gone sky high, but my tax can only go up 1.5 or 1% per year. But they keep trying to undo Prop 13 every single year. They're trying like crazy to undo that. I pray they won't be able to. Yeah, it says a roommate is risky. I prefer privacy. As me, I can't afford RVing either. Okay, so you're just going to hang in there then. And hopefully it won't go up too much higher. Vaughn says, Iris, not necessarily true, but it might depend on state or county, though. And Mira says, spent the day looking online for apartments. The average rent is $2,000 now. absolutely outrageous if you are single. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I looked at one bedrooms here because Jess was came. I'm moving out and I'm getting my own place, and blah 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 blah. I said, okay, well, let's just look at rents. Let's just look at. And she's like, it was $2,500 for a one bedroom. I said, well, let's look at studios. It wasn't hardly any less for a studio, and some one bedrooms were 2,700. I was like, she goes, well, let's look at rooms. I can rent a room. I'm like, why would you rent a room when you can stay here? Because I don't want to stay where I live. She's just, you get to a certain age and you want that independence. But she's finding that, on a part-time job, you're not going to be able to afford even a room to rent, you know. Um, RV Keep Rolling says, my light bill was, what? Your light bill was over $600? Where do you live? Keep it rolling. Where did you say where you lived? $600. Are you in Arizona or somewhere where you well, no, it wouldn't be you wouldn't be hot yet because it's still not getting into the hot. $600 for your light. Oh my gosh. It jumped over 100 for the past 3 months. There's no way they admitted to overcharging people, but they don't have to pay back. Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to hear that. If my lights went to $600, my electric, and my whole house is electric, even my heater, my thermostat, it's all electric. It's not gas. But if it went to $600, we'd be using um something else. We wouldn't use candles, but we'd use USB kind of candles. Yeah, no, we'd be staying in one room at night and lighting everything up, or two rooms at night, lighting everything else up, and turn everything off. No way I'm paying $600 a month. First of all, I can't afford it, but no way. Oh my gosh. Rock says, I chose the senior apartment complex we're in because everything is about 2 minutes away. Mom's doctors, shopping centers. Yeah, that's the way to do it. And that really is the way to do it. Uh, um, Graham says, our young bloke in Melbourne, the grizzly bear, has just got an apprenticeship as a mechanic. Well, congratulations. Hard to believe he already knows everything and can't be told anything so well. I'll wait and see. I know. Don't they know everything? What was that? Who was that said, it's amazing. The older I get, the smarter my parents get. Amazing. Isn't that how we all of a sudden get a little smarter when they get older? Vaughn says, RV, that's why I only use USB lights. Yeah. No way, no way, no way, no way. It's not, no. We didn't turn the heat on once this whole winter. I have a small electric throw. We use those things, those snuggies that you wear, and we each have electric throws on our bed. So that's what we use, the snuggies, until we went to bed, and the electric throws at night. And then I got Cuddle his own little blanket, and he has uh, a little snuggie for him. Yeah, no, no. Oh my goodness. Three Generations says, Vaughn, so I won't need a residential address to get legal in California. I'm using a shelter address now, but their property is up for sale. I don't know that I really don't know the answer to that, Three Generations, but you can probably go online and find out. Mira says, you need a physical address for car insurance. Price dependent on where it is housed. Yeah, and you want to be careful because you don't want to get charged with insurance fraud. That's something you really want to be careful about, Missy Van says, I now live in a house. Okay. RV trolling, keep trolling says, Missy Van, I now live in a house. Wow, that's just do you mind saying the state that it's in, RV trolling? You don't have to say the city, but maybe the state. But if you're not comfortable, that's fine too. I am we. Says, just saying howdy, y'all from Texas. Well, hello, hello. Vaughn says, Iris, I know someone who's using a mailbox, not a PO box. Okay, thank you for that information and posting it, Vaughn's. Um, RV Keep Trolling says, I bought a house 3 years ago. I'm selling my RV. My cousin is my roommate. Okay, well, sometimes that if you have a really, really good friend or a cousin or someone that you're close with and you have a good relationship, so the $600, so at least the two of you are able to split that, but still even $300. Wow. Oh my goodness. Billy says, stay aware rather of your surroundings and try to stay safe. Absolutely. Mira says, I'd rather live in a hut or van as well than live with others. Don't think the Rav will cut it though, not with two cats. That would be a little challenging. That would be. Um, yep, Rock says we need our peace. Chaos is for younglings. I absolutely agree. I had roommates when I was younger, but it was always something, but I could cope with it then. I think of some of this stuff I couldn't deal with it now. I absolutely couldn't deal with it. Um Carol Crane says, I saw article about older lady sold her home because of taxes and homeowners insurance increases, moved into extended stay hotel, and that was cheaper. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I know someone who also sold their Letty. She used to have a, I don't know if she still does, but Letty's Life or Letty's RV, but she had a YouTube channel and she sold her home because number one, it needed a lot of maintenance that she couldn't afford to be done. Plus the taxes had gone up, plus the insurance. She said she just couldn't keep up with it and she sold it and bought an RV and moved into her RV. Yeah, she bought a class C, but one of those bigger one, not a class A, but a bigger class C, and it was lovely with the money from her house. Uh, um, Three Generations says, I have had anytime mail for over 3 years in Arkansas and now Oregon, but both states required residential addresses for license and registration. Yeah, because for insurance, they do base it a lot on where you're registered. So if you give a address, it's not your address and it's in a lower um charged an area that they charge lower than the area that you live in, if they found out they could maybe, charge you with insurance fraud. So I just urge you to be careful about this stuff. Pam Studio says, not there now. Things changed. My mom got sick. I saw a bug as big as my hand too. Oh my gosh. Whoo, yeah. I do not want bugs. No. Bugs and alligators. So no Florida for me. RV, keep it rolling, says prices are insane. They are. Mira says, I was looking at the extended stays as well, but they're more than the Airbnb. $500 plus a week. Wow. Wow. Rock says, living with a couple 30 something guys full time would make me cry crazy. I'd travel a lot. I bet you would. Vaughn says, Iris, it might be the rules in those areas. That's not in effect in other states. Yes, praying, Graham, praying for your boy. Oh my goodness. Uh Now you said sorry to hear that for you. Wait a minute, did I miss something? Graham was talking about his son got a job as a mechanic. Was there something else that I missed? And that he knows everything, but that's kids, up to a certain age, they do. Um, so what are you saying sorry about to Graham? Was it that his son, like most of our kids, know everything up until a certain age? By the time they hit 40, they start realizing they don't know everything. But I won't be around then when Jessica hits 40, so I'm not worried about it. Three Generations says minivan over roommate. Muskie Land says don't go to a senior living apartment. Oh, why not? Why not, Muskie Land? Just go to a okay. RV Keep Trolling says my cousin doesn't bother me much. It's me and him and two dogs. Okay. Well, good. Sharon says absolutely. Muskie says I'm 58, no to roommate. Vaughn says I got no time for people's nonsense. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, folks, Sheila says I would never have a roommate. I know we talked about that. Hey, Jackie. Jackie says I'm 13 years in my RAV. Love it. I use paperless and auto pay. Okay. So, well, there's someone. that is in their RAV and been in it for 13 years. So I guess you can do what you need to do. And there is a tour of Jackie's RAV, so go check it out. But I'm going to get off here and go check these little munchkins. And also, a friend is having, someone at their church youth group is having a birthday thing for the March people, including Jess, because her birthday's this much, and another boy. So I'm bringing the cake. So I got to go pick up the cake. So, got to go pick up the kiddos and pick up the cake. So I got to get out here. Anyone who I know I'm going to miss a lot of comments, but I'm sorry. Barry says, if the bug the size of your hand, it's called a pet. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Barry. Absolutely. But anyone who's your first time in the house or the first time commenting, give me a number one so we can welcome you, because you know how we do. We want to welcome everyone. Cynthia says the $700 includes valet trash. Oh, water, sewer. Oh, so it includes water, sewer, and trash. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds pretty good, Cynthia. Uh, Water and trash, because the water can be pretty expensive. Oh my goodness. Okay, Gino. Hello, Gina. I'm sorry. Let me put on my glasses. Gina is first time in the house, so everyone, you know how we do. Say hello to Gina. Yes, and do good, rocks. So say hello to Gina. Anyone else the first time in the house who want to greet you and say hello? Hey, Carol Crane. Hello, hello. Anyone else first time in the house? Put a number one so we can greet you properly. And anyone who has a channel you want us to call out or shout out, let me know so I can shout you out. And if you and Nora has a beautiful, beautiful set, just beautiful sets of paintings on her site at Etsy, Nora Cag. So go over to Etsy and check out Nora's beautiful, beautiful artwork. And Mir, hello, Mir, first time in the house. Well, hello, Mir, thank you for being here the first time. Can everyone say hello to Mir? You know how we greet everyone. You're now officially a Globie, and you have to come back every Saturday. Well, you don't have to come back every Saturday, but come back and say hello and join us and see what's happening. Yes, go over and check Jackie's channel. Keep it stealth. Keep it stealth. We still have to do something. We're gonna do a collaboration, me and Jackie. I don't know what yet, but we are going to do a collaboration. We talked about it. So keep it stealth. Go over and check out Jackie's channel. And anyone else, RV Keep It Rolling has a channel. So go over and check out RV Keep It Rolling. And she's always looking, or they're always rather looking for new friends. Anyone else? So before we get out of here, all right, folks. Love each and every one of you. So glad that you joined me today. And the consensus is that most of you would rather live in a van or a vehicle, even a car, than have a roommate. There you have it. All right. Love you. And I am going to make like a shepherd and get my flock out of here. All right, guys. I will see you next week.